The topic of aliens will always excite researchers around the world, at least until real evidence of their existence appears, but it seems that they have already appeared. Scientists have at their disposal mysterious photographs from Mars, inexplicable footage from the ISS, and even the fact of the presence of a real alien on Moon. This is definitely worth a look. In this issue you will know the most scandalous truth about aliens and see real evidence that aliens exist. The last few years have been teeming with sensationalism and shocking headlines about exploration on Mars, and the imminent opening of space tourism to the Red Planet. At the moment there are many fascinating photographs of the structure of the planet and its surface, but in general nothing supernatural, nothing except the following shocking images. On May 3, 2022, the media was full of reports of a striking photo. A Martian copter captured something unusual. In one of his photographs, scientists saw something similar to a parachute landing capsule and other debris scattered across the Martian landscape. As John McDowell, a technical astronomer at the Center for Astrophysics in Cambridge, wrote on social networks, "These are debris that crashed from an alien flying saucer." It's funny that in this case, the aliens in relation to Mars are still people, but there is an assumption that we are talking about a part of the apparatus that separated during the landing of the rover called Perseverance, back in February 2021. The rover and its copter landed on Mars on February 18, 2021. When the copter made its first flight on April 19, 2021, it became the first artificial spacecraft ever to fly on another planet, and there were fears that the device would not be able to get off the surface of Mars. Since the volume of the Martian atmosphere is much less than that of Earth and makes up less than 1% of the volume of our planet, it is not clear whether it will be able to take off. But the copter completed the task, and now we can admire the photographs it took. But this is not the only story of mysterious photographs of Mars. In the case that you will now hear about, everything is not so clear and understandable, and researchers are still arguing that it could be ufologists discovered in photographs of the Red Planet, unidentified rectangular objects that may be aliens. Photographs were taken by the Mars rover on Mount Aeolis. Ufologists believe that aliens are not the indigenous inhabitants of Mars, but perhaps they came from another galaxy. According to ufologists, they can observe humanity from Gale Crater, where they were taken in August 2020. Russian cosmonaut Ivan Vanier published amazing footage on his social networks. At that time the cosmonaut was on the International Space Station. The footage shows a chain of luminous objects following each other. They were captured when Vanier was filming the aurora over Antarctica. The cosmonaut conveyed information about his discovery to Roscosmos. Popular versions of what is shown in the footage include meteors, satellites, or reflections from the ISS window, but conspiracy theorists did not stand aside, claiming that the object caught in the lens was a UFO. Be that as it may, according to academician Frank's version, Wagner saw a constellation of Starlink satellites belonging to Elon Musk's company. And which version do you adhere to? Share your opinion in the comments and look further to see and learn even more evidence that aliens exist. Alien face on the Moon. In 2019, the famous ufologist Scott Waring published a photograph taken by an astronaut during a high-rise on the Moon as part of the Apollo 14 mission, 1971. Researchers saw in the photograph the alien's face on a rock formation. According to the ufologist, the face of the alien, who could have lived on the Moon many years ago, was almost no different from a human. He also had eyes, a mouth, hair, and a forehead. His ears were large, and he himself was larger than a human. Scott Waring also examined the wrinkles and folds on the alien's face and concluded that the representative of an extraterrestrial civilization was already elderly, although, as other researchers emphasized, one should not draw hasty conclusions, correlations of external signs with the age of the alien creature. Who knows how their bodies are structured? Also in the photo, which Waring closely studied, you can see the shadow of an astronaut with a camera, as well as a hammer and a mug left by him on the stone. The ufologist said that for decades the authorities hid the fact of the discovery of traces of extraterrestrial civilizations, According to him, there is enough evidence that Earthlings are not alone in the universe. Such alien faces in rocks and hills are the most important discoveries of astronomy, astrophysics, and astrobiology in the entire history of mankind, said the ufologist. Alien underground tunnel on Mars. It is no secret that many ufologists believe that the official media are hiding the existence of aliens, so researchers are busy studying photographs from planets and studying in detail all the small details. But every time more and more new things and facts are found. They did not bypass the photo-red planet. A group of ufologists has again found several new places and objects that were left behind by aliens or inhabitants of Mars, which published photographs that were taken using the orbiter. The scientist enlarged the picture and noticed a large hole on the surface of the planet, which looked like the entrance to an underground alien base. The passage to the underground tunnel is located in the northern polar cap. One of the ufologists said that he was very lucky to discover such a find. He also believes that all pictures are specially edited before being posted publicly in order to hide the whole truth about the existence of aliens from people. Be that as it may, it is clear to confirm the opinion of the skeptics. And those who agree with the ufologist are impossible. Message for aliens. When we learn about the existence of extraterrestrial life, the first question we will likely ask ourselves is how we will communicate with them. Now in 2022, this question seems to be more relevant than ever. Remote sensing sites have revealed that the vast majority of stars in our galaxy contain planets, many of them exoplanets. Many of them have liquid water on their surface, which is a necessary condition for the existence of life. As we know, the probability that at least 1 of a billion of these planets has life is quite high, so it is definitely worth thinking about ways to communicate with aliens. Space organizations around the world including NASA are looking to establish contacts with alien life, and NASA has come up with a shocking and slightly controversial way to attract the attention of aliens. You may ask how. NASA plans to do this using binary signals outside the Earth's atmosphere to attract extraterrestrial intelligence. A binary coded message was specially designed for this purpose. It includes the basic mathematical and physical concepts to create a universal means of communication, followed by information about the biochemical composition of life on Earth, and also describes the position of the solar system with a timestamp in the Milky Way relative to global clusters. The project is known as a beacon in the galaxy, and it shows various diagrams describing the biochemistry of life on Earth, as well as 2 cartoons depicting a male and female body. The entire message is presented in binary code, since this is the main form of digital communication that aliens can also use for messaging. In fact, this project has been controversial among researchers around the world since its inception. For many, this experiment is simply a waste of time, and at worst, a potentially dangerous gamble. Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest physicists of all time, warned that aliens may simply not see us. Just like we don't see bacteria, as he said, if you look at history, you can see that there is contact between humans and less intelligent organisms. Often had a disastrous outcome, and encounters with advanced and primitive technologies ended badly for the less advanced. Hawking continued that in theory they could be much stronger than us and contact with them is not a good idea. It is obvious that our curiosity will never fade until we find out what the secrets of the cosmos hold. Be that as it may, it is unlikely that we will send the treasured message on time, or to the right planet, and besides, we have no way of knowing who the recipient will be. What if we give our address to an alien species whose diet is bipedal? Nevertheless, for many researchers and space fans, the projects are of great importance. All that remains is to wait for the near future and see what comes of it. Interview with a former NASA employee. Today it seems to us that we are alone in this universe, since it is impossible to absolutely confirm any evidence of the existence of aliens. Many facts and arguments still rely only on assumption. But everything has changed dramatically in recent years, when they learned to actively explore individual cosmic bodies like Mars, as well as cosmic phenomena in general. Years of research have revealed many secrets of the universe, but the question of whether aliens exist remains open. However, a former NASA scientist believes that meetings between aliens and humans will happen soon. Jim Green, who retired as NASA's chief scientist in January of this year, told the BBC that many of the aliens are in places very similar to Earth. Interestingly, these planets have one of the most basic conditions for the existence of life, water, and not only in liquid form, but also in solid and gaseous form. Green added that the organization has made tremendous progress during his tenure, and he and the rest of the team have learned a lot in the 40 years he has worked in the space industry. Jim Green also said that the James Sweet Space Telescope could help analyze the atmospheres of currently inaccessible planets. And NASA will even be able to tease the most curious observers with some images of such planets. The telescope can also help compare the atmospheres of distant planets with those we already know well. Jim called this a huge step forward and suggested that in the next few years we could learn about some amazing discoveries. These studies may be the answer to a key question that worries everyone at times. Lonely or we are in the universes? Well, write in the comments what you think, whether we are alone in the universe or not, and if you were interested, like and subscribe.